So, are you ready for this, Savage?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. No, I'm actually not ready. Can we pause this? God damn it, not anymore. Anyway, guess I'm forced to be here then.
Okay. Oh, it's a PvP again, though.
It's a
Do you want me to
PV.
cover for you? If you need to go do something, I can introduce the players if you like. Although I
No.
can't control your camera.
What do I have to do? It was a
That's true,
joke.
actually. We can. Okay. So go ahead, introduce the players in this possibly last match.
Wait, it's 3 to them, right? And 2 to us?
2 to us, yep. So if we lose, we have unfortunately lost the match.
Yeah. So, alright, I will introduce our last player. Yeah. At our top right, it is Seal. And this time he give me a rhyme.
He is looking to seal the victory.
That's not a rhyme, but that's okay.
It would do. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Anyway, top right, blue corner, playing for Maximus Brood, sponsored by We Are Gamers, it is Seal.
And in the bottom left position, on Orbital Shipyard, we've got Tigger playing for Nanaue in the yellow trunks.
The yellow trunks. Hello, Turtle Biscuit, how's it going?
The yellow trunks. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it? They're not wearing trunks.
No, they're wearing color.
Yeah.
Like...
So again, immediately we're seeing differences in the starting builds, by the way.
What are we seeing, Savage?
So we've got double gas from Tigger, which kind of screams out Stargate play or something along those lines, maybe DT. But what I quite like from Zeal, he's getting double gateway. This clearly says to me adept pressure. I really like this.
Yeah, I do agree that this is actually... I do agree that this is actually gonna be a very high pressure game for both of these players. Because I know that it doesn't really translate directly into what you said, but these players are playing with very nerves. Seal knows that he has to win this. This is our last chance, and he plays the team. And I talked to him a bit before the match started. His hands were shaking. He had to go get a cigarette. I've all tried that. I'm a smoker myself, so when I play in a tournament, about half a pack goes down in 2 matches. And meanwhile, Tiger.
I think it's Tigger.
Tigger. That's a cute name actually. It forces your voice to go up in a piss like Tigger.
Tigger.
Anyway, Tigger is playing the fact that I have to win this, and we're done. This is all me, boys. And I think that's also a high stress to play under.
This is quite nice from Tigger. He's Zeal had a probe in Tigger's base, and Tigger's actually scouted it. So that's a nice bit of nice work there from Tigger.
He won't fall victim to the previous mistake that his opponent actually did with the entire Pylon Rush. And now he has the one adept out, and meanwhile, Seal is getting a robotics facility right here, so he will go into the standard play that we saw him do before. And
yeah, it looks very familiar, doesn't it, to the previous game. However, I kind of feel like Tigger's had the better opening. He's got 3 gateways up already, which means he's going to have additional adepts kind of as the game goes on. It's just that Zeal had his gateways up earlier, so that's why he's been able to pressure here with these 2 adepts and get some good scouting off. Actually, that's really smart from him.
Yeah, but I do have to admit, if Tigger
I think it's Tigger, yeah.
I think it's Tigger. It doesn't actually do something with these 3 gates. Then Seal will put very much ahead because he has his second Nexus up now. He has his robotic facility, and he has a Triad Council on the way. Meanwhile, with 1 more gateway. So Tigger is actually, I'm gonna have to say, if this game's going for like two more minutes without him doing, he's getting a 3rd. Scratch all I said. He's getting a 3rd.
It's a little bit of a confused build, isn't it, by Tigger, because he's got 3 gateways and he hasn't used them. You know, he's got 2 units out currently. He's getting a robo up, but it just seemed it just seems like a bit of a confused opening. He doesn't have saturation on his 2nd, so does he necessarily need that 3rd so early? It's definitely a bit of a risk right now.
It's a risk. It's a very big risk. If Seal actually does notice this and tries to punish it, he won't be able to do anything because the pylon overcharges. But
And I think he will notice it because he's got an observer out. The same observer that he made in the last game. He will see this expansion quite early, and he will know that Tigger's been quite greedy. I just feel like it's a little bit early on that expansion because he still hasn't got kind of saturation at his second base. So he's going to be waiting a long time to get efficiency out of those 3 bases, I feel.
yeah, I do feel you're kind of right in that. But the fact that actually we see still seeing that this Nexus is just about to finish, and he can conclude from this that he is actually going a very economic build right now. I wonder how Seal will respond to this. Anyway, yeah, it is a really early Nexus, and as we see now, he doesn't have the, well, I would say he doesn't have the economy, but he just isn't producing out of it right now yet. So that means he actually doesn't. He has, or at least now he's making more probes. But as time goes on, this Nexus will actually like do a lot for him. Meanwhile, what do we see behind this? Seal is actually getting 5 gates, and he looks like he's gearing up for some kind of pressure.
Yeah, I actually quite like Tigger's position here. He's making. Can you see that he's making a lot of sentries? He's going to be able to force field between these pylons, and that's going to create a really solid wall of overcharged pylons with sentries behind it, with even some stalkers or whatever behind it, and it's going to be tough for Zeal to walk up that ramp. I kind of feel like Zeal would be best just taking a third as well.
But is it too late now? I do believe that it is actually too late.
I think he'd be fine to take a third. One of the issues that Zeal may have is that his upgrades are going to be far behind Tigger's. Tigger is almost at 1-0, he's going to 1-1 as well, and he's really getting those really quick upgrades, whereas Zeal's upgrades in this matchup, especially last game, were quite slow. There's also a massive Artosis pylon in Zeal's base, which worries me a little bit. Can you see that? I think it's powering...
No, that's an in-control pylon. Haven't you been watching DSL?
Well, as much as Artosis tries to tell us that it's an in-control pylon, I'm pretty sure it's an Artosis pylon. But there's 4 gateways being powered by that pylon. That's a bit worrying. What is Zeal's plan here? Because he's moving out. It looks like he's going to go attack.
His plan is to attack, yeah. The only problem is he doesn't have a... Oh, he actually get the warp now. So he should have a lot of units that actually... He can actually attack this. And he does see that the back rock's actually the weakest place for Tigger. So he's actually gonna attack that, and I think this is a really smart move, because Tigger is not expecting this at all, and he hasn't seen this at all.
He does have a pylon there, but I don't know. I don't feel like this is gonna work out for Zeal. He's doing something quite nice though. He's actually gonna drop around the back of the second base at the same time. Can you see the warp prism just travelling down throughout the map there? So he might just try and distract with this attack up here. Oh, nice job getting that pylon out of the way before the overcharges come in. But he needs to be careful here of the force fields. Oh, that's quite nice for Tigger. He spotted the warp gate, but is he going to respond to it?
Can he respond to it? That's the question, because he has a base right. He has a huge army right outside his base.
He's not noticed it. He hasn't noticed the adepts in his second base.
Oh, and this is going to pull him back.
This is so nice. He's going to have to pull some units into his base here, and that means that Zeal can potentially attack this third. This is such nice play by Zeal. He's even walked in 4 more adepts into the main base. 18 probes, 19, 20 probes!
Oh my god!
Tigger is still not dealing with them. He's not doing anything.
Zeal does make a huge mid move by actually moving some of his adepts down here.
Yeah, that was a slight mistake, but there's going to be more adepts being warped in here. And, Zeal just pulls them back again.
Oh, and Tigger's moving his whole army. He's so out of position right now.
And this is what happens when you've got such an immobile army and you're being pressured. 30 probes dying. Tigger is now down in workers, despite the fact he's been on 3 Nexus for so long.
And there's this up to the blink micro from Zeal here. Does he notice it though?
He's not. This is bad here for Zeal. He's overextended.
No, has he really? Because he's got reinforcements in the base. He can easily reinforce this. He has more stalkers. He does lose all his. All his models.
Well, it's a fairly even game now. Tigger has the upgrade advantage, but Zeal has more probes now, and he's taken a third. He does have 2 forges.
And he still has 5 sellers to deal with.
Oh. Zeal needs to be careful that he doesn't just overextend a little bit too much, though. He needs to be careful that he doesn't kind of start to drain away some of his resources by these warp-ins. He needs to take a third now. He needs to get his upgrades going because he's way behind in upgrades. Tigger's at 2-1, whereas Zeal is still at 0-0. And despite all of that damage, despite all of that economic damage, Tigger is on equal probes and he's still got the larger army with better upgrades. So as good as that went for Zeal, I still feel as though he's in a little spot of bother here.
Yeah, I do believe so too. And now we actually see Seal starting his +1/+1, and he's not gonna give up this relentless harassment. And I do think this is gonna work against Tigger, because Tigger is so afraid to move out that he's gonna lose his base, and he does lose like all his probes. If he loses 10 more probes, he is basically, I wouldn't say dead, but he's in a very, very strong rough spot now that Seal actually has his base out, and he is actually getting out his high Templar Archive, and he's got the project base, so he will be able to go into the green composition here. And
those I mean, Tigger's decision making here is slightly odd. He does have a disruptor out, but he's also getting, oddly enough, a Stargate. I don't understand the timing of that. That's kind of odd to me that he's making the Stargate. Maybe it's just to make a Phoenix to deal with this Warp Prism. That maybe makes a bit of sense. But
maybe
it's
it is
kind
the
of
transition into the Tempest. You know, the whole Tempest is the best way to
Oh, possibly. You could be right there. I mean, he does still have 3, kind of 2.5 bases. He's back up to 60 workers. Zeal's getting kind of Archons now, and he's going up to he's on 50 workers. I mean, if both players max out, I feel like Zeal should be in a decent spot because he's got less workers, but the upgrades are so far behind for Zeal. He's going to be at 1-1 shortly, but Tigger's going to be at 3-1 very soon.
The question is now, how quickly is Seal actually going to queue up these next upgrades? Because it's really important that he just gets them ASAP.
Yeah, there is a pylon, by the way, at the left position here next to a probe. I don't quite know what that's for, but Zeal has, the upgrades are finished, but he hasn't queued up 2-2 immediately, so he needs to make sure he doesn't forget those. If he can get to 2-2, he's probably in an okay spot, to be honest.
Oh no, this is the worst time ever for Seal actually to put down his fourth even. Just a Seal, just a Tigger warps in 4 zealots.
Yeah, it's slightly unfortunate, but he does have these rocks killed, so he can just walk over and attack it. He doesn't have to walk all the way around, and these zealots are actually chasing after the probe, so that's actually not a disaster for him, and he will clear these up. Yeah, he probably will spot the pylon here as well, I would have thought, and he's now getting 2-2 as well, so that's quite nice for Zeal. I kind of feel like this game is almost evened out, but as you said, Tigger is actually going to go into Tempest. The question is though, does he have enough ground forces? I mean, Tempests are great and everything, but you still need some ground force to be able to kind of support them.
He's actually making a mothership core. No, a mothership even.
Okay, that is an interesting choice. I mean, one thing I will say about Zeal is that he's been really active with his observers. He's always kept an observer with his army. You see, he's still got it in his hotkey there. So it's not like he's going to be thrown off by all of these. And in fact, Zeal scouts the mothership core making. Look at that, he's scouted it. He's literally just scouted it.
And now he knows there's a fleet beacon on the way. He also sees the Colossus, so he knows exactly what he's dealing with now. And he's actually getting 2-2, and his charges on the base, so I don't know who will win this, because
this is a very strange composition from Tigger. He's adding in Colossi, he's getting Thermal Lance, he's got a Mothership Core, he's adding in a Tempest. He's also getting the Plasma Shield upgrade, and I think he's now at 3-2 rather than 3-1. Really interesting composition from Tigger. I kind of feel like Zeal's composition is better.
For the time being, until that he gets up a big enough Tempest card, and he will actually see the Tempest in a few moments. He should be able to see the Tempest now.
He's only got 1 Tempest, so I mean, you need at least 3 to 4, and at that point you can start to kite and kill things off. But Tigger's actually going to push out here. He's got 190 supply army.
Remember that Seal actually does see this coming to his base, so he'll be able to position accordingly.
Yeah, he will have 2-2 as well, so he's not going to be massively behind in upgrades. He has a lot of Zealots as well. I kind of feel like Zeal's got the better army composition, but again, it will come down to micro. He's got the Disruptors with his army. I think Tigger has 1 Disruptor. He looks like he's got 1 Disruptor. And it looks like Tigger's going to go for that 4th base. Here we go. Here's the big engagement. Tigger tree splitting for the Disruptors, but those Archons are so strong in this matchup. Oh, Zeal, no, you don't want to go too far back here, Zeal. Okay, that's good. He's got
and
Zealots coming
now
in.
we will see the charge coming in here, and he is
Okay,
doing
the
that.
disruptor balls are not going off, but there they go.
Oh,
He's
there
still
they
got
come,
too
and
far
they actually
back.
they do get
They
some
do
nice
nothing.
shots.
I don't think they did anything. But blinking to kill the Mothership Core.
Oh,
The
I don't-
Archons are still alive though. They're still going. Mothership Core goes down. The Archons are doing massive damage, but there's now Tempests out. There's 2 Colossi at the back as well that aren't doing anything. These disruptors are going to be cooled down soon. But this is the point in the game where Zeal's going to be able to reinforce quickly because he's at his base.
Yeah, this is true, and he doesn't. Tigger doesn't have actually any units. Oh, the disruptor shots misses hugely.
Yeah,
This is Zeal.
he's just using them too far back, but he's got another warp in, and that's going to finally deal with us. 2 of these Colossi are illusions. There's only 2 Colossi left in a Tempest. Those are expensive units to lose.
Those
And
are
I
very
feel like-
expensive units.
I feel like Zeal's took a massive lead in this game. He's on 4 base, whereas Tigger's only, like, he's taking his 4th now, but it's not probed up. I feel like Zeal's just taking a massive lead in this game, and that was even without good disruptor hits.
Yeah. And now we will see the follow-up attack coming in here, because this will be all about the disruptors, and he does actually have the War Prism coming in the back here, so he does have
Yeah.
a War Prism out on the field. However, Tigger does see this and he starts to warp in 3 Zealots. However, I do believe that Zeal actually has to be very careful here about how long
I
he
agree.
waits, because the longer he waits, the more army his opponent actually gonna get out. Oh no!
Oh, nice warping at the back here. Can you see this?
Yeah, I
Zeal's
see
just
this.
watching a whole bunch of Zealots. And meanwhile, he's going to hit the front, I think. I think he's going to hit the front at the same time. This is really nicely played by Zeal.
Oh, if Seal sees all these units gone, he's actually gonna move in, and he sees that all these
He
units are
goes-
gone.
And if he keeps disruptors at the bottom of that ramp, there's no way that Tigger's going to be
Oh,
able
will
to
he get the
out.
Tempest? If he gets the Tempest, that's
Oh.
huge! Oh, and he gets the Tempest, he's even gonna get
It
an
does-
Immortal.
It doesn't even get a 5-shot. And he gets the Immortal. Expensive
Oh
units
my
again going down
God.
for Tigger.
And Tigger will never ever be able to go down this ramp.
But
Oh, where's he? Oh, shoot! Tempest shot's getting at least 4
He's got
stalkers!
another one.
And there's gonna be another. Oh, that's. 4 more Tempest.
I'm having a heart
Circus.
attack. Zeal has surely taken this game. And there's
Oh no,
GG.
GG!
No, he's tilted. Oh dear.
Great game from dear Seal out there, and that was a really good game.
Yeah, really back and forth game, wasn't it? I mean, it kind of felt as though Tigger had the advantage the entire time, but yet he just wasn't able to capitalize on it. He got outmaneuvered with the adept drops, but he was still at even on workers, and he still had the upgrade advantage. Like, he had the upgrade advantage the entire game. It's just that Zeal had the better composition, you have to say.